It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money.
To the east.
Don't touch.
This shit is crazy.
I'm trying to told you.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and
You hear what I said?
Yes, bitch, I heard you. I'm pretending like I didn't.
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk. Killed the monkey. Threw the bat out the window. Start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway. But I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it.
Yeah, well, gotta get a piece of my
TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. I think very deeply.
Dance with me. Oh, yeah. Every
decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Decent white.
Be
daddy.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Come with baggage, just not as Louis Vuitton.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
I like that.
Bitch niggas, hoe niggas, rich niggas, broke bitch. I told niggas this was on, yeah, right here.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass.
I think we OD. I think we OD. My word, can't be my equal, don't know what you heard.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the deuce. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the deuce. Heavy, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come in. I hit.
Like I said, you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Slapping folks is satisfying. She don't like me, but I didn't know. Guess it was underlying.
People, they feel like you almost have to sell your soul to get fame, or is it just hard work, or is it luck, is it consequence, is it?
No, most of us done sold our soul. We just called it something else.
To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, and the middle. All right, what's happening? The ones that could stick through hearing that, but I want to put out those high vibes out there too. And even though I got this fan going on, because this computer gets hot and all these lights get hot. But let's see, I don't think let's see. Ooh, that was funky. It's too high though, baby, too high. Oh, here we go. So, cleanse myself. This is the full moon version of the Chocolate Mountain Show. And I know it's been a few full moons since I've come on. But let me get myself a sage bath. And clear all this stale energies off of me. This smells so good. And then, I give thanks to the woods as well. Because everything we live upon is the trees. We rest within the trees. Even today, we still technically live in tree houses. Even if they got brick on the outside, the inside be wood. They ain't really, it's not too many steel houses out there. Palo Santo, really great. But it gets those woods going. Wood is like the musk and stuff. So, So again, this is the version of the Full Mountain Chocolate Mountain show that it is the full moon, and so later I will be doing the full moon meditation. And if anybody comes across this or anybody sees this, this is for you. You dig? And thank you, CWE, for coming in. Life is good. Let me just show you how good it's really been. Life is really. Let's see if I can kill it. Just wait. Ooh, I don't want the sound. Let's see. Yeah, kill the sound. Oh, yeah. It's been so long, I forgot how to run things. But I've been I've been on vacation the past 2 weeks. And let's see, do I remember? I don't even remember how to switch from one screen to the other anymore. It's got to be in display capture. Well, of course, we want that. But I don't even remember how to make the other video come in. That tells you how long it's been that I've been on. Oh, I think it's here. There we go. This is Myrtle Beach, and this is the deck we had access to. I mean, this is kind of cool. For 5 days, this was my television. As you see, there's couches and shit out here. I mean, it's really cool. This was really well worth it. We spent a grip, no doubt. But this is this is, you see, you can sit in the couches, and this is Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of coast. Of course, this is the Atlantic Ocean. That's a pier you can go to. You can't quite see the pool. I don't know if I followed the pool or not. And somewhere I have a shot of pelicans. I don't see pelicans in my lair. There we go. There goes the motherfucking pelicans. So this was, my thing for a week. Yeah, I don't think there's any music with this one. Listen to that ocean raging. This is just how peaceful it sounds. Just dig the ocean sounds. Beautiful night. Beautiful, beautiful night. Again, I'm on that same deck, and these people are right here. I use this later, but there's a fire pit here, and you see there's a little dune, and then the ocean's right behind. So I thought it was a beautiful shot. Just waking up in the morning. Okay, and this is actually in the ocean itself. This is in the ocean itself, I'm about knee deep in the ocean. I found a bunch of shells and stuff. So, but yeah, this is in the ocean itself. So just chilling, chilling in the Atlantic Ocean. That's, that's what we did. Okay, I think I played it. No. And this is a trip because this is at the this is Notre Dame. This is I forget what they call this, but this is What I did in Notre Dame, this was competition for my daughter. They got second in the nation for their age and team, for their age again. I think their oldest, well, they got a person on there's 26-year-old, but most of them are students. The oldest students just completed their 10th grade. But it was just trippy the way you see these things just constantly twirl. I mean, they're just constantly twirling, you know, it's kind of trippy to watch. Notre Dame, you know, I hadn't been to Notre Dame since the 97, 98. I want to say before my boys was born. Okay, and I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. And so that was kind of what I did, you know. And it's a couple really funny stories that I don't know if I'm gonna lead into, but it's a couple funny stories. So down there were 2 outlets. They didn't have any malls. They had 2 outlets. So I go to, and then again, this is, I went the wrong way to go to the outlet coming back to go to Kenosha. I kind of wanted to see that one, but I went the wrong way. I was supposed to take East Detroit, I think, or Chicago, and I stayed on the Skyway, and the Skyway was quicker. It really was quicker. So, you know, I didn't have to go to downtown. When I drove to Notre Dame, I had to come downtown, Chicago, and I kind of went through, not too bad. But coming back, just straight Skyway. And so I go to Myrtle Beach. The flight was cool and everything. Go to Myrtle Beach. We drove to South Bend, which was 7 hours, 8 hours. We had a bed and breakfast it was a nice place, but had one of the worst beds. It had one of those styrofoam beds, not very comfortable. Now in Myrtle Beach, we had a nice suite, big king size bed. Our room was right on the ocean. I mean, one night I watched the ocean. I got up at 5:30 and watched the ocean until about 8:30. My last day there, Thursday, I got up about 8 and stayed for an hour or two, just a couple hours on there. So let me get this right. Let me give them the proper introductions. I'm sorry I didn't. CWE, thank you for coming. Big Stank, thank you for coming. Oh, my brother, Quiet Redface, thank you for coming. So what's funny is, though, I go into the outlet and in Myrtle Beach, and the outlet is obviously, this is a black outlet. And what's funny is the customer service or the people helping was more security guards. I just imagine it's a lot of stealing. I mean, it was a small one. The outlet we have. Now I went yesterday or day before when I first got back, Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. I went down to the older outlet, and it's a small one. They ain't had nothing down there. Even their Adidas didn't really have much. But anyway, so I'm in Myrtle Beach and I go in the outlet, and it's almost all sisters and brothers working in there. Now, are we in North Myrtle Beach? I don't know if that's no. It's kind of mixed the way it normally is. Because North Myrtle Beach is where more people had the money. Now on the strip, that's it's a lot of money on the strip. I last went to Myrtle Beach in the 80s, and it looks completely different from when I went. So anyway, I'm in this outlet, and it's all security because must be people stealing in there. They didn't have any tech wear. I mean, it was the smallest Nike outlet. The back wall with the open boxes. Yeah, it was nothing there. I mean, really, like nothing. It was quite interesting how low a inventory, and I think it's probably because of the stealing. Then, I got a great deal on this jersey and this hat. It was like $30. I'd had a little money off because I buy a lot of shit from Lids, but like the hat was 30 itself, the jersey was 50. I get 20% off anyway. So I got both of these hookups for like $30, which was, this is Jackie Robinson, Kansas City Monarchs. The Jackie Robinson version of the Monarchs, Satchel Paige, So, I always, I love this. I always give credence to the Black Negro Leagues, the Negro Leagues. So, I always give credence to the Negro Leagues. Hey, Nicole B., what's happening? Thank you for joining. And so, I always give credence to that. So you always see me in that kind of gear. So when I had a chance, but this is what's funny about the lids. Lids didn't even like it looked like when I went to the lids in Myrtle Beach, it looked like going into a warehouse. I mean, the walls was all they hadn't even put paneling in there of anything. It was just straight up warehouse. I was like, wow, I had never been into one like that. And then we go to the other outlet, which was obviously, mostly used by the Europeans down there. And the European outlet was the total opposite. Nobody was following you around. I think with New Balance, where my wife bought her hoodie, nobody followed us around. It was like two people working in there again. And this store was bigger. The New Balance, maybe the stores was about equal. Maybe the Nike store was slightly bigger, but nobody following us around. Nobody paying attention because, again, you could see the difference in the money. You could see the difference in the climate. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, so 2 weeks ago, we left, we went to Notre Dame. Gosh, we were there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and part of Thursday we came back. Yeah. So no, we got there Tuesday afternoon, and we left Thursday. So we daylight. We got home in the daylight. We left in the daylight and all that. And then we were home Friday, Saturday, and we flew out Sunday. So last 2 weeks we really been gone a lot. So we flew out Sunday. So it was kind of cool. Had a good time traveling. Got to see my father. I hadn't seen my father since my daughter was 5, and she's about to be 13. So I got a chance to kick it with him, and we just reminiscing over stuff. Because my father was 18 when he had me, so he's not terribly older than me. I think he just turned 81. I'm 63, so Uh, and seeing my stepmother, who they've been married going on 50 years, my stepmother took me to my second movie ever. The first movie I went to see was Dumbo, and that must have been in 62 or 63, maybe 64. I was maybe 3 at the oldest. And then my stepmother took me to see Oliver Twist. I was in 3rd grade. So this was 1970. This is 1970. She took me to see our Oliver Twist. So that's how far we go back, and she has 3 other children. They're all considerably younger than me. I think they're 48, 46, 40, 46. Well, 76 is next year. So it's 49, 47, 45. So my youngest brother is 45. So then my brother Watson he must be 57, right? About 6 years apart. 57, I think. You're 57 or 58. 66 would be 58, 66. Yeah, you'd be 58. Yeah, he's 58 now. So him and I, closer in age, grew up together, of course. And so, let me show these. I forgot to bring my book over here, but this is not Smoky Quartz. I think this is called Zoo. Let me see. Let me do a quick search, and I'll give you the name. Precious Stones in South Carolina. Nope, it's not reading me. So let me find another, because I had another search. Okay, why is this like that? All right, here we go. Crystals found in South Carolina. And I think this is what I have. Amethyst, agate, chaudery, and jasper. It's a little more than that. Let's see. And this rock I'm holding was fill rock. Amethyst, smoky amethyst, skeleto, estriol, angel plated iron, manganese, oxide, ora, and other. Beryl, garnet, and epidite. Epidite. No, that's not. More results. Here we go. Aquamarine, which is obviously isn't. Amethyst, felspar, gold, kaolin, zycron. That's what I think this is. I think this is a piece of zycron. And I didn't bring my crystal book is back behind me, but I think this is a piece of zycron. There was a big giant piece of this, but this was a little more shinier. But I think that's what this is zycron. And it's a zirconium alicate mineral found in small quantities in many rocks. It can be very variety of colors. Some crystals are of gemstone quality. It's one of the oldest minerals on Earth and is found in quarries, rivers, creeks, and all around the state. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And then some other things I just collected while on the beach. Again, they dredge to get the rocks and stuff out of the beach, but it's just shells. Just brought I found the full shell I found. I gave to my daughter, but I just like the backs of these. Oh, I'll show both sides. This is the other side. And this piece, yeah, kind of the light kind of hits this. You can see the shiny parts. This is the other side. These are all clam shells, of course. And then you can kind of see a little bit of the translucent. And this is the other side. And then this one, and the translucents. I could have got a whole bucket of these. Where's the one piece? Did I give the red piece away? I thought I kept the red piece. Oh, here it is. I don't know if this shows up on camera, but this had a little bit of red in it. Oops. I'm tearing up everything. I don't know if the reds are showing up. Cruise control. Hey, B Brown, what's happening? Cruise control. Cruise control says, what do I think about it? I mean, I think it's propaganda. That's what I think about it. I think a certain group put out propaganda. So I don't think it's anything to be afraid of. I mean, do you know how much propaganda has been put out? So, I mean, is it really important? That's my other thing. Is it really important? How do you really think you're going to be that affected by something? So I don't know. Liquid Fire, thank you for joining me. Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. And I have been. I'm fat as a mug. I haven't played pickleball in 2 full weeks. It was 90 here today. We did do some more shopping. I guess I didn't. You see, I got everything. Well, I guess I didn't get I bought a hoodie. I mean, like Ballin' on a Budget says, when you shop in the summertime is the best time to buy winter stuff. That's why really the best time up here, because it's cold up here so much, is to buy the winter things right as winter is going away. They start having the big sales. Now, the opposite, and also you can say that in warmer places, you can start buying. You can buy warmer clothes and get a good deal. My wife got a tech fleece for I think $50. They're still at the Nike app for going over 100 just for the women's tech fleece. So she got a super deal. I was like, yeah, you should buy this. Is $100 off, hon. And so when you shop, those are the kind of deals that you can get during the year. The worst time to shop is the summertime because at the end of the summer, yeah, it's not worth buying old season summer stuff. So yeah, yes, definitely vision. And so that's kind of how I do it. I don't know if my hoodie's in the other thing, but I'll show my jacket when I start going over the gear and stuff. So, but that's kind of my thing. My thing is I'm becoming, or always have been a big sneakerhead. I was in the store the other day and a dude had a pair of LeBrons. And I was surprised. I forgot I had them. I think in my storage I have those exact LeBrons, and I had worn them so long, because I believe in wearing my shoes. Now I'm kind of overwhelmed, so I think I'm gonna start just going by. I'm gonna wear these I'm gonna wear these in this bucket this month. I'm gonna wear these in this bucket next month, just to kind of rotate wearing them. But it also just collecting, and loving the fashion. And that's I've always been a person that have loved fashion. It's like I know a couple stories that I found humorous about people in fashion. So I remember one dude from here was like, he was from Kansas City, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Kansas City, and we like New York." And he hit my arm when he said it. We like New York. We wear our Timberlands with shorts. And I'm like, so you imitate New York? And he was kind of puzzled when I said that. So y'all not really like New York. You dudes from Kansas City, you imitate New York. Matter of fact, I think he was from St. Louis. Now I'm speaking. So I'm like, so St. Louis niggas imitate these other niggas. And it leads to my second story is I had a partner, and my partner, he was young at the time, maybe still in high school. So I'm going to the park, and I probably had a game, probably had a semi-pro game or something. So I go to the park and about to play, and I see him. Or maybe it was a day I was just working on, I can't remember. But I see him, and he's got the shell toes, and he no shoestrings, like Run DMC. And I looked at him and was like, really? Do you see your daddy? You see your uncles? You see anybody, all the brothers that you look up to wearing their shoes like that? It's like, no. I said, to me, the most fashionable people in the country was from Michigan. So why would you imitate somebody you saw on TV? Next day I saw him, he had the strings in it. He had the fat strings in it, but he had the strings in it because he's like, I never looked at it like that. We can't let. Well, I'll say this: it's like, what did your life change with when he was in before? So he was in before, so that all makes a moot point. He was in before, so all this that things is going to change. How quickly can things change in 4 years? Whoever's going to win is only going to get one term. so I think all the panic and all that, I just think that's, it's like, why do you even care? Your life ain't going to really change one way or another. Now, it is true that the Zionists have still supported Israel. Joe Biden, you can go back to find the video where he's admitted Zionist. And, they talk about Hamas and the war. Well, Israel wanted that war. Israel has backed Hamas in the past. I mean, in Syria, we've talked many times about the CIA attacking the Department of Defense people. We've backed these separate groups, and they fought each other in Syria. They fought each other in Syria. These separate groups have fought each other in Syria. So you tell me they don't always play both sides. Look at the Kingsmen. And they show all the cousins that fought other cousins. And I said this last time I was on, and the only person that really suffered was the Tsar in Russia. And make no mistake about it, Russia is a Zionist country. Russia is ran by them peoples. That's just a fact. The Bolsheviks was them peoples. They were Jewish faith people. Trotsky, I've talked about this many times. Trotsky, all of them, Lenin, all of them was Jewish faith people. So, it's a Jewish faith country. So, I did think Trump had a better handle on the border. What they say, 20, 30 million people have come in since Biden, opened the borders up. And now the resources for these bigger cities there weren't resources for the melanated people in the cities, but now there's resources for these migrants. They've even closed schools so these migrants can live in them. And look at all the money we're paying. Taxpayer money are paying for people that, are here legally or illegally. So when has that ever really been done in history, where resources were taken so much for the people and given to foreigners? So you talking about Agenda 25, that's an agenda in itself. Because that shows that there's one side of people that think, well, if we don't get a bunch of new voters in, we're in trouble. Because people are becoming intelligent. It's the biggest thing is intelligent thinkers. Well, what is that short they put out there is like, what the country doesn't want is a bunch of intelligent thinkers, free thinkers, people that aren't swayed or fooled by propaganda. I mean, it's funny. I put like a picture of Kamala, who's a Zionist, and her husband's a Zionist, and her stepchildren, and somebody put a header up of a beautiful black family. I mean, Kamara is nothing more than Obama. Obama had a Jewish faith mother, and he had a African father. This chick is the opposite. This chick has an Indian mother, and she has a Jamaican father. But yet and this is my only problem. This is my biggest problem with her is, and we know, and let's get into it, her being a bust down with Willie Brown, her being a bust down with Montel Williams. All right? So we see that this is, this is, we see that, this is a real thing. This is so. I don't know, y'all. So these, whoever you want, that's on you. But all I say is be smart about it. Be smart about it. Don't get caught in the hype, because that's what a lot is going around. A lot of hype is going around. And I just say don't get caught in it. Don't get caught in emotionalism. What's the other one? Don't get caught in, what is it called? What is this called? Identity politics. Don't get caught in identity politics. And that's what a lot of us, with emotionalism. I mean, a lot of people were hating this woman. And all of a sudden, she's more likable. It's like, do y'all remember when he first got elected, everybody was wearing Chucks? Oh, here we go. Everybody was wearing Chucks in the, they was wearing Chucks and pearls. Do you remember how quickly that she started making mistakes? Them Chucks and pearls went away because she started making mistakes. Do y'all remember that? She's elected. Everybody's wearing Chucks and pearls. She's making these mistakes. All of a sudden, ain't nobody wearing Chucks and pearls. You did? No, it's not like, Trump is totally any better, but it just seems like the change is not there. The change is not going to be as great as people think. Now, on the other hand, when, Trump was president, some people did pay higher taxes. Yet it's always been the idea of the Republicans that you pay lower taxes. And let's keep this in mind too. And this is one part. I remember. Oh yeah. So under Trump, a lot of people did pay higher taxes. There's no doubt about that. So keep that in mind. But one thing that you have to keep in mind too is, and you just learn the history. Remember the Klan was started by the Democrats. All right. The overthrow of the elected government of Wilmington, it was done by Democrats. Democrats overthrew them violently. Now let's go to who set off Tulsa and why. The main people that pushed the violence on Tulsa was the Jewish newspapers. Jewish newspapers are the main ones that set up the violence in Tulsa. They wanted to take those lands and wanted to take those oil rights because the Jewish newspapers were backed by bankers and speculators. So an event that, people's son they felt was taken wrong, they went and got their son and left. And all of a sudden these Jewish newspapers is, European girl raped, European girl this, European, and these are all Jewish newspapers who all were aligned with the Democratic Party. So, oh yeah, indeed, patterns. And so, we've been fooled. We've been fooled. And it's like one young lady just splurted out that she's only voting for Kamala because she's black. Which she's not really black, but she gives the like Obama, the look, but not really the culture. They do a thing here or there. She's an AKA. She went to Howard. So they want to play on the culture. But we have a lot of culture vultures. So people's life ain't gonna change that much. But know everything. Don't only look at a small part of it, and that's what it is. Identity politics. And that's what a lot of people are playing. I mean, without like what is their real platform? And like he put Agenda 2025, don't that seem like there's something that the Republic or the Democrats will put out to scare you into not liking Trump? That's what it appears like to me, that the Democrats put that together and the Democrats push that out to scare everybody. I mean, her speeches, I mean, all this stuff is just, it's mind-blowing because they do the clips of her just saying the same thing over again. And let's not forget about the fiasco with the children. When first they put out there that this is just a natural interview of children, and she does this whole release thing about space that makes no sense. It's like you can tell how out of touch she really is. They tried anything and everything to put her in a good light. And you can't really say there's anything she's done. She failed being over it. He tried to put her over immigration, and she failed. I mean, he didn't really want to put her over anything else after that, after she failed that. But she has failure after failure after failure. And that's just putting the facts out there about who this chick is. This chick is putting a lot of failures out here. And now all of a sudden, a person that people didn't really like, she goes magically, she raises $90 million magically, plus she gets his $60 million. She's only getting a ticket by default. That's what the scripts are a trip. Oh, indeed, the scripts are a trip. Oh, people are definitely programmed. People are. I mean, the education system is to dumb you down, not to make you a free thinker. They want you to just remember repetitives. That's all it's about, is you being repetitive, being able to parrot what you've heard. That's why, the parrot spells are so easy to put on people. Perfect. You guys notice I went to South Bend. I'm hearing people say perfect. Answering me perfect. My order, and I'll get done with my order. Perfect. How is it that I'm seeing this same word in these multiple states? I go through Wisconsin, go to McDonald's. They got the steak sandwich from McDonald's back in Wisconsin. But anyway, get done with my order. Perfect. Go to Indiana, get done with my order. Perfect. Go to Michigan, get done with my order. Perfect. Go down to Myrtle Beach, get done with my order. Perfect. How is it that all these people across the nation are saying the same word in response to something instead of saying beautiful or okay? Gotcha. Hey, Green Onions, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. So, these parroting things are but that's the education that we're given. We're given a very limited education. And we definitely, aren't getting an education to make us free thinkers. we're getting education to be slave workers. That's why, the education system, mirrors work. I mean, it doesn't take you long when you start working. You're like, oh, okay, it's school is, okay, it's setting me up from work. And a lot of work is first shift. So, and it's funny the amount of emotionalism is put with politics. Why is it so, like I put some things out and it's like people that ain't, said nothing about me in a while, all of a sudden they're commenting. It's hitting nerves. Why is it? And don't you see, like you had the same emotions 4 years ago? And this is one thing about when you believe in something, and again, you shouldn't believe in anything. But what tends to happen is you get emotional. You really get emotional, and emotionalism comes in this time of year. And if you got to defend something, that's really where I was going for that point. I'm sorry. When you have to defend something, there's a problem right there. So what do you want? Something you have to defend or something you already know that's coming down the pipe? Okay, this motherfucker's like this. Okay, he's like this. Lost all the campaigns. They would lose all the campaigns if she's not on the ballot. Nah, that's a good point. What do you think? Smoke Dog, what's happening? What do you think of the theme is for the Olympics? You think of the thing? I didn't really pay attention to that. I saw him coming in. See over, what's happening? Let's look that up. Let's look that up. Olympic theme, because I don't know. I don't know what it is. Because at one, I just saw him coming. I just saw them coming on the boats. I was at a restaurant. And so, what is the Olympic theme? Oh, here's the theme music. Oh, here we go. Is to contribute. It's always the Olympic hymn is the Greek hymn. Okay, here we go. I'm just getting it out of the parade. The theme song. Olympic symbolizes. I don't know. So maybe hit me to what your point is. Because I only saw him coming in on the boats. And I ate most of the time. So. There's the thing, Olympic fanfare and stuff. Let's watch a little bit of this. Okay, this is what they was coming into. No, that ain't really nothing. I don't know. Hit me to it. I'm not sure. I can't really find it. You remember a couple years ago they was doing it, and they was kind of previewing COVID. It was kind of previewing COVID. So, I'll tell you what I like about the Olympics. Man, they was playing. I don't know if y'all ever played handball. They showed them playing handball, and and my TV looks. I got that. What is it called? But that shit looks so real. It looks so the Olympic coverage, the cameras and the sports are looking so good. I saw the Americans losing beach volleyball. I was watching judo before I came up here, but handball. I don't know if y'all hip to handball. Handball is played with a ball so big, slightly bigger than a softball that can bounce. And you have, I think it's 5-on-5. I think it's 5-on-5, but you have like a goalie, like a hockey goalie, and a defender in front of that. You can only bounce the ball one time, so it's a passing game. But what I used to always love about it is like when you went, like you can, there's a like a line that you can't really cross. So you got to throw the ball outside the line, but you can run up to the line and Dr. J the ball and fool the goalie. I like that part of it. We'd go because we used to play with a slightly bigger ball. But if you could palm these little balls and do, the Connie Hawkins kind of thing and then try to throw it in. So I always liked speedball. So swimming. Did y'all see that one chick swim? She was doing the butterfly. When this chick kicked, She stayed underwater more than halfway back. She stayed underwater more than halfway back. And keep in mind, they've been doing events. So they had the thing last month. They've been doing events probably since Tuesday. They do a lot of these smaller events. They do it through, the week of the opening. So that's why you're seeing so many gold medals yesterday, so many gold medals today, is because these events been going on. So gathering for telling me about gratitude. Finally starting to create content and upload videos. Y'all both been helpful. I went to the hermit mode in a few years and I had to pass. Well, that's good. Good. Oh, I know folks weren't happy with the pale horse reference. Oh, okay. Is that part of it? Okay. I didn't know. Looked like the 12 disciples set up a biblical. Oh, okay. Here we go. Saw some on Twitter about the opening ceremony. Looked like the 12 disciples set up kind of biblical. Okay. I found 8 win years ago. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm helpful. Whatever little bit I could be. That's cool. Whatever little bit I could be helpful. I try. Siova, he's probably like it's like this. If people really needed a manager to get the most out of doing this, Siova's a person you should probably work with. He seems the most knowledgeable about how to set up your channel and content and things that for the people that really need, the help and really need this as a job. I mean, I think you want to hire the best possible advisors. So, and you can see I'm kind of like I'm not staying up late anymore. I don't really have a lot of time to do this anymore. I don't really need to do this. You dig? I think I've said so much. Again, I've been broadcasting. I think the other channel was taken down in 20. Going on 4 years since the other channel was taken down, and that channel was from 14. So, they took off, they killed it at 20, so they took off 6 years worth of content. So I've said a lot. So I'm at the point, like, what more can I say? I don't know how much more I can say. Because, you get older, you get to repeating yourself a lot. But, you want to emphasize things and see that people truly understand, like, what's going on around them. That's the biggest thing. It's like what you're faced with. And a lot of people don't talk about that. I mean, a lot of people talk about the distractions going on in the world instead of really like trying to break down this reality and the magic and the evil that is trying to keep you where you are and make change not good for you, make you fear change. So that's one of the biggest things that I see. And I've said over and over again. So let me pivot a little bit. Man, I went to see Wolverine. Well, I saw Twister. Twister was okay. I mean, the sound of it, boom, boom, and the tornadoes was excellent, but it's kind of a love story somewhat. I went to see Wolverine versus Deadpool. Like this is the problem I have with when the movies kind of deal with gay people, and this is the problem I have with it. Everything has to be sexual. I mean, there are so many sexual, like it's an R-rated movie, and I can't say that the violence in the movie is R-rated, but all these gay sexual references, gay people ain't just about sex. But every reference to gay people is just over and over again about sex. And it's very prejudiced. Because that's not all what they're about. I mean, all of our lives. Like what's funny is with men, when their woman leave them, they wonder how often she's having sex with somebody else. Or your woman with somebody else, and you be like, well, how many times she having sex with him a week or a day? And it's like, that is a very small part of people's lives. But yet in the movie, it's one gay sexual thing, jokes. And you know, he's Ryan Reynolds is very much Will Ferrell. Now they say the movie is to make fun of a movie. Yeah, I get that. But it's like he's a ham. And I know Deadpool's supposed, but I mean it's like Will Ferrell ham now. Now, far as the fighting and the violence. Now, if anybody ever seen car wrestling, you guys ever heard of seen that? Or I mean, heard and saw that before. Because they have a thing where two niggas get in a car and they start wrestling. And they can use the belt buckles and everything. And so Deadpool and Wolverine car wrestle. I mean, at a superhero level, but I mean they do what this new kind of weird event is, where they car wrestle. Two dudes go in a car and they start wrestling. You can look that up. I mean, it's one of the weirdest kind of things they have out there, but they do this in the movie. But the fighting in the movie is excellent. They bring back Blade, Elektra, Channing plays Gambit, Juggernaut. Matthew McConaughey plays cowboy or western Deadpool. That's actually Under the Mask. That's Matthew McConaughey. So they do give you a lot of wrinkles. His wife plays Lady Deadpool. She's, they're all trying to fight him at this point, So, screenplay wise, I give it a 3 or 4. I mean, the story is really jumbled. Now, screenplay wise for Twister, I give that about a 6. Horizon's been the worst movie of the year. Its screenplay was a 1. That's a terrible screenplay. So I don't want to stop y'all from seeing it. For those of you that like action, it is a great action movie, no doubt. But those are the flaws as far as I saw. So, well, let me get into my next part of it. I broke down the movies. Let me get into my next part of it is I'm a sneakerhead, so acquiring these sneakers. So here we go. Now this pair is an open box, and these are called the Jordan Zoom 92s. Kind of a mixture of Jordan 3, Jordan, maybe closer to Jordan 4, and you can see they give elements of other shoes. But comfortable as hell. I tried to get these to my son to hoop in. Comfortable as hell. And these are the Olympic version of them. I got these shoes. Originally, these shoes was $150. And these are 2 or 3 years old, but of course the shoe is new. I say $150. It says $69. I think I got these for $35. $35, y'all. And again, this is an open box. Oh. Now, the outlets have Yeezys. The outlets have the Yeezys, y'all. They have the Yeezys. And these are the Yeezy 700s. There was another color there last week before I left. And I went in there and they replenified these. And these are the resins. These are the 700 resins. I don't know about y'all, but Ultra Boost is one of the most comfortable things that anybody came up with in the shoe. I don't have to put my arches in these shoes at all. But this is the resin. Now I did pay $100 for these. I paid, $100 for these, no doubt. Which is still cheaper than StockX. Because let's see. I'll just show the shoe. I don't think they're on the box. Ochio, maybe they call these. Retro. I think these are called the Ochios or something like that. But this one. And I got these for $60. These are Air Force One Achino maybe they're called. $60. And one thing Nike did is Nike fucked the box up. This ain't a, open box. They send it to me all fucked up. Some people send it back when they do that shit, but I ain't that intense. And then the shoe, there's 2 shoes of the hour, but this is one of the shoes. I didn't wear these that much in Miami. Before I went to Miami, I wore the shit out of these, but these are the 380s, and these are the High Glow. High Glow. They have more colors in there today, I must admit. And I did pay $100 for these, but these are super comfortable. I mean, this Hydra boots, they are super comfortable. I only got to wear these once there, but before last week when I got them, I was wearing these everywhere. These are super comfortable, lightweight. I mean, comfortable. And so I did pay $100 for these. And of course, when you travel, you want to pimp. And so, these, I ain't seen nobody else yet wear these anywhere I've been. I didn't see one single person in South Carolina. I didn't see nobody around here wear these. And of course, these are the LeBron 21 Grandma's Couch. This might be one of my favorite shoes of all time. The detail in these shoes are it's just bananas. I mean, yeah, the way they put this together. And LeBrons are some of the most comfortable shoes there are. I didn't even put my insoles in these. My others I have. And I paid full retail for these, but, which is, I think, $200. But look at that. And I'm wearing these, I'm traveling. I'm in South Carolina. I go to the Broke Mall and I'm wearing these. It's just, so I love these. Now, Air Force Ones aren't credibly, even with my insoles in them and my toes, they're not credibly comfortable. But another version of them are. And these are Terminators. These are more comfortable than the Air Force One. And what are these called? Let me see if I can find what these are called. Because you go to StockX. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. No, these are not that. These are called Portland Trailblazers. That's right. So these are called Portland Trailblazers. These are more comfortable than the Air Force Ones, considerably more comfortable. And I got these for $50, maybe 50 for these. So, and they give you a couple pair of strings. So I have 2 Terminators. Plus, I like the old school look of the Terminators. So that was my haul, and a couple more things. Let me just grab and let me show. Oh. Again, one thing I love about the outlet is, like now, if you have children and you want them to be dressed like everybody else, it's The outlets are great. But one thing that I've done is I put my shoes in these. This can handle mostly 5 pair of shoes. So I have 4 of these. This makes 5 that I put the shoes in. I got the lid. So I want to show that. And I have, so that's 20 shoes basically going them. But I have about 7, 8 pair in my closet in my bedroom. And then this is, just another, if you look hard enough, I bought this in South Carolina. This was originally $120. I bought this for $27. This is the old style, early Nike. I just found the pants, and I still had to pay more for the pants. I went to 2 outlets looking to see if they just might happen to have the pants for the cheap. They really didn't. So I found the pants at Dig Sports, so I had to pay. But this jacket right here, the original 120, I got for 20. So. And that's why, I mentioned, in the summertime, you should be buying winter clothes because they're cheaper. Because they're cheaper. But that's my passion. I'm becoming a sneakerhead, and sneakers are my passion. My feet have kind of healed somewhat, so I can kind of wear these shoes. And again, Air Force Ones ain't something you want to wear every day. They ain't that comfortable, but they look good, and the art is good. And so that has become one of my hobbies and one of my passions is, clothes have always been my hobby and my passion. And I think, at my age, I have the right to buy any kind of shoes I like. Now, I'm not going to buy a pair of alligator shoes anymore because I'll never wear them. I can't wear them. There's not too many gators you can get and put insoles in them. Like, look at the athletes on television. They're even getting away from wearing dress shoes because there's nothing but a flat shoe with no support. Now, for those of you that don't have foot problems, well, go for it. But majority of people as they get older can't wear a flat shoe. And most ladies don't seem to have the problems. They can wear flat ass sandals and, the one loop sandals and don't have the problems. But most men, especially if you were active during your life, you have to have some type of support. So that's what I do. So that was that part of the show. Let me see. I got the movie, got the vacation in, got the movie in, got the merchandise. Oh, here's another rock. Gosh, I wish I had some, but this is smoky quartz that I got from my front yard. Forgot to show this. And this stuff is everywhere up here. But when I got it wet, I didn't realize there was so much quartz because what happens is the original mineral appears to be limestone and the quartz overtook the limestone. So if you get this wet, you can see that it's almost all quartz and not limestone anymore. And very old. It takes a long time to quartz over something. So I like this kind of energy around me, Like it's a full moon tonight too. So, there's energies that's coming in 4 days before and 4 days after. I have a head I've taken everywhere with me. The last 2 weeks, this head and the personal crystals I carry have been on the road with me. And so I exposed all my crystals. I carry Numite, Shugite, and then I carry my Omic figure is Serpentine. And then my Chairman Fred's skull is obsidian. And so I buried the skull into the Atlantic Ocean water, so the water was kind of washing over. I took each of my personal ones that I carry with me all the time, and I let the ocean and the sand get on them. Now, Shungite comes from water. When they mine it from water. And so, this is my way of cleansing these energies, of cleansing each crystal. And then the ones, my obsidian, I call him Chairman Fred, that I travel with. He's been to Michigan. He's come from China. And again, I've said this story about this skull, order itself. I never ordered this skull. I looked at it, passed by it. Next thing I know, it says it's on the way. I think it was $60 back in 15. I think I've had it since 15. I've had it like 9 years. And it travels with me. When I travel, it travels with me. So first thing I do when I get in the room, I put that skull there, because black crystals seem to be protectors and, knock the stuff off you. Because there's a lot of attacks that we just don't even realize. And something simple as wearing a crystal, will take it away. I mean, diamonds is another thing, but we always keep in mind diamonds can hold negative energy. But not diamonds can amplify. If things are extremely high, the diamond can amplify that extremely high. But keep in mind, when things are extremely low, diamonds can do the opposite. They can amplify that low, so you have to rinse them off, reset them, so it doesn't keep that low energy. You want them to keep giving you positive energy. And that's something they can do, no doubt. So, but I must admit, I'm happy to be home. And it's funny how, like when you don't work, how one day seems like the next. Like everybody, when you work, you living for the weekend. I can't wait till the next day or the next day. You get into that kind. Well, it's when you don't work and you're not forced to work, and the days are almost mimic each other in a lot of ways, unless you do things to unmimic the days. And even those of you that work, the days mimic each other very easily. This day seems like this day seems like this day. And that's why vacations are so cool. I'm really a homebody, and I know how to kind of change up a little bit. Try to, but the biggest thing is just enjoying the moment in itself, because this repeating kind of time takes you away from enjoying the moment. You go to work, it's Monday, and you just like, oh, how you doing? Well, it's Monday. And because it's Monday, you're not going to enjoy the moment, because you got 4 other days to work. Not realizing that every moment, every experience going through that is valuable. Now, I've said over and over again about Dr. Strange, the ancient one, when she's dying, she said, I've had, 1,000 years, but here I am trying to hold on to these last moments I have. Because the moment is all you have. And we don't realize how important the moment is. The moment is each moment is very important. So it's not like, the moments become important just when you die. No, the moments are always important. And that's what we get, that's the thing that we get lost with, is that the moments become unimportant. And I'll take that back. It's like we don't pay attention to the moments. So there's nothing memorable about it. I mean, we don't realize how good oxygen is to us until we are without it. And the same thing with the moments. The moments are all beautiful. So it's not that when you die, you say, oh, this shit's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. Right now, it's beautiful. Well, what does he say? I make right now be okay. And too often or not, there's other things there that makes right now not okay. And so that's my biggest message is enjoy the moment. Be aware, like I was saying about, with the perfect, be aware when you're around spells and learn how to counter spells. What's interesting is, this young man died and I had to go to his funeral. And the main reason I was at his funeral was to counter all the spells they put on him. They bring these religious people to spell on you. Even while you're dead, they are trying to suck your soul away while you're laying there. You're fighting to go into the next realm, and then you got these people just spell after spell after spell after spell. So I knew I was there to counter all them spells that was put on him. And remember, the spells are loud. They say them out loud. They proclaim them. So I enjoy the moment. Learn that There's nothing to fear when it's over. That's why sometimes when people get old, they just like, I'm ready. Some people were ready in their 70s, some people ready in their 80s, 90s, some people ready in their 40s or 50s. They just be tired. Especially if they've been attacked with disease. They'd be like, okay, I give. Take it. Not scared. Like my cousin that he got approved to have a lung transplant. He was on oxygen. He was like, his brother had died. He's like, told me, I'm not afraid to die. That was his goodbye to me, which I didn't understand at the time, but that was his goodbye to me. And that's how you should face it. This don't scare me. I'm not scared by this. And that's what, they think is like, if this is the stoppage, okay, accept it. See what's next. And face it with no fear. Face it with, I ain't never scared. And that's all of this. Because that's, death is their ultimate fear. Death in prison. Those are two things they want you the scaredest about. The threat of prison and, the threat of death. And like even this, people getting political, this is all a distraction. I mean, the agenda is set for what already is going to happen. I mean, somebody asked about 2025. What about Agenda 2030 that's put out there by the UN? You're not seeing that heavily talked about, huh? This has been out. But what they want to do is put out scare you. They want to put that fear out there. This kind of change is coming. So you can vote without being emotional about it. Letting the emotionalism take over. But it's a distraction from you being your best self. Now all of a sudden you find yourself defending somebody you don't even know that could care less about you. And, in the book Dying of Whiteness, they talked about the people that Obamacare, Affordable Health Act was going to help the most. These people is voting against something that's going to help them. I mean, these Europeans, because it comes from Obama, is going to vote against their best interests. And we see that time and time again, where people are not understanding the system enough and will help the system destroy them by taking more and more benefits away if you're not a healthy person. So this is what becomes completely, hilarious. That people don't even consider or learn enough about what they're supporting. Like, how is it going to benefit me? And I'm not saying from a selfish standpoint, but I'm saying from just a practical standpoint. Why am I giving this other thing energy? What's this? Oh, okay. Why am I giving other people energy? That's the biggest thing. Why am I giving something energy other than me? That's to me, one of the biggest things. Like, why am I giving away important moments to think about and defend someone else that I don't know and could care less about me? That's what comes around every 4 years. They want you to think about it, constantly talk about it, and be emotional about it. I mentioned, I put a couple pictures on Facebook. All of a sudden, people that I ain't heard from since the previous election, other than if they said happy birthday. And we've had the same arguments the previous election and the previous one before that. Yet they don't understand the emotionalism of it. I mean, I like to mess with people. I talk shit. So that's why I do it. I talk shit and like to talk shit, like to debate. And so I bring these things up because I know, the slant that it puts on people. And it touches nerves in them. And then to say, you're going to vote for somebody just because they're black or just because they're white, I mean, that's a very ignorant way to vote. And, the most, let's say the majority of people that do that is Europeans. But again, it's not a lot of this European and that European because they do pick amongst each other. So keep that in mind too. That does happen. So So don't let it take away from you. And that's what these times do. How long have I been going? Okay, I'm not going to go terribly longer. Is that a 2? Okay. Oh, and I still have to show the full moon. So I know a lot of people probably ain't going to dig that, but I think it's worth it. It's full moon. And if you would like to meditate to the full moon energy, I'm going to put the divineness. I've showed her video. It's roughly about 20 minutes of that. So I always think it's a great thing for the full moon. It's a new cycle. It's a lot of energy out there. And if you grab it or not, no matter what the moon is, this thing has to put out energy when the thing is supposed to. When it cycles, it puts out energy. That's the best way I can explain it. And that energy is free for all. Now, most people don't try to feed on it. Don't try to embrace it. Most people, it just goes by them. I mean, I have my crystals outside, so they can absorb the most energy and then bring it back into me. And it's the same way. All of us can, put our dream catchers or put our nets, our spiritual nets out there. And, like, okay, you giving this free energy out, I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to take some of it. What time is it? I ain't took my meds either, so I got to kind of stay on that kind of time too. Because later I have to take meds 12 hours apart, so kind of should have brought them in here. But that's okay. When I put her on, I'll go sneak and get some. But it's like, how many of you just wake up feeling good every day? Or is there dread? I got to face this, anxiety. Where do you think all that comes from? Is that real or is that artificial? Is that something that should be naturally there? It's like you got to test. Remember, when you was a child, you had to test the next day. All nervous all night. Nervous ain't when you wake up. And that goes from being young to being old. Big project, do it work. Big speech to do it work. Anxiety about how you gonna do it. Get along with the boss and stuff, and anxiety. All this is, it's created by the system to kind of hold you back and kind of hold a part of you. That's why I just take it the way it is. Nothing I can do about it. It's like I said about the moments, it's like right now I ain't going through that. And a lot of times, what is out there is not as big or as bad as what you make it. A lot of people overblow things in their mind. Like my mother has a hard time when she was working turning things off. I mean, she's trying to solve. It was hard for her not to solve. And that helped her, helped her be successful what she was doing. But it's like, you should be able to turn that off and on. And she really couldn't. And she suffered, a lot of nights couldn't sleep and stuff. Excuse me. Yeah. Because, thinking about something too much. And many people do that. And anxiety. Like, how many of y'all have anxiety? Like, I get anxiety when I go by the big ski jump. When I drive in Bloomington. Because I had a bad experience. So I get anxiety. They tricked me going up there. And I went on the high ski jump, like Eddie the Eagle. Hit a tree. Like in the cartoons, just splat. So when I see that, I get anxiety. I like ski jump, no! They're pushing me through the line. I'm like, why am I going on the elevator? I'm supposed to go down the hill, not go up on the elevator. Oh, you'll love it. This is for you. Next thing I know, I'm soaring and shit. When you high, it's like, man, I don't mind soaring, But then when I soared over the hill and soared like almost to the freeway, that wasn't cool. Just having fun, y'all. Just a story, that's all. But it's just anxiety, like how do you deal with it? How do you calm yourself? Like, I was telling a story about the MRIs. I don't like getting in them tight ones no more. I won't do that shit. I mean, that shit's an inch here, inch there, inch there. Yeah, some people go in that shit, no problem. I made them put me in the bigger ones. Now, they say the stand-up ones aren't as sharp. But that shit was like just thinking about that shit. And once I'm in there, that shit that takes me. I can't be confined like that. Now, I don't know if that's my soul not wanting to be confined so much by the magnets. I don't know, but I just don't like being confined anymore. And I said many times, I've been into the first MRIs when they was just trucks, a truck that backed up to the hospital. That's how MRIs started. Wasn't a machine. The machine was in the back of a truck. Now, when I first went in, I didn't quite mind. I was in my mid 40s, I think. When I first hurt. Well, I hurt my shoulder a long time ago. But, you know, these are real things that are around you. What does it say? Truth be told, Amaru Khan. Hey, thank you for the kind words. Calvin Dickerson, thank you. What's happening? And so, you know, we all as humans have to find ways to cope through these things and not let them be as big or need medication, you know, like being able to naturally deal with these things. And that's the way to overwhelm them, is naturally deal with these kind of issues. Don't let them take you over. Don't let them consume you. Because a lot of these things and these kind of mental things can take us over. And so it's best to try to find coping mechanisms. And it's best to just enjoy life. But enjoy all of it. Enjoy, like there's the thing the Gnostics say, even when it's good, even when it's bad, it's good because it's life. Because you still get that moment of experience, even though it was a bad experience. And of course, you know, if we can avoid certain bad experiences, that's great. But even when it's bad, it's good because we are still into the moment. And there's nothing wrong with letting go of the moment. When it's, you know, you're ready to move on, just let go of the moment. That's it. Just let go and move on. So, and that's what I do. And I know that may not be easy for everyone because everyone can't free their mind. Everyone's not strong enough to let their mind be free. Let their mind, control their mind. And I've talked many times about controlling your own thoughts. A lot of people can't even control their thoughts. That's why it's funny when Dr. Valentine says time is thoughts. No, they're not. Time is closer to a moment than the thoughts. Because you ain't got to think nothing. The moment's still going to come and go. You fart, that moment came and went. So if you don't never think anything, what do you think when rocks were alive, what they thought about? When rocks were alive and soft, what do you think they thought about? And their time moved in. When the water was just all black, time was still moving. Not this artificial time, but I'm saying all these moments is moving. And, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I'm not getting deep into the political thing. I mean, that's not really, I mean, I see the distraction in it, so I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it. And that's what a lot of these things are, is a lot of these things is distractions. And why spend a lot of time? Like, we can see that this system puts out characters that are distractions. I mean, as entertaining as that Cat Williams thing was months ago, it's still a distraction. Because anytime everybody's talking about one thing, it's a distraction. And it's like sports. Sports is obviously distractions. Football season's about to come in. We going through the Olympics right now. So all these are distractions to take you away from you. To take you away from what you are. And what you need to be doing for yourself. As I was saying about the politics and stuff, it's to take you away. It says time to stand up. And I stood up not too long ago. It takes you away from who you truly are and what you truly are. I mean, you know, there's a book out there that's truly out there to trick you with all these mythologies. It wants to call all these other things mythology without calling itself mythology. And it's one of the biggest mythologies out there. Ah. And it's truly one of the biggest mythologies out there. With the same characters that ain't real characters and people basing their lives around this. And again, you shouldn't believe anything. You should know. Because you know the moment. So all this other information, again, is belief. But you know the moment. And if you spend your time studying the proper moments, or the moments that's going to benefit you the most, instead of other stories. Now I'm 63 years old now, and I've been spiritual since 20. And probably even before then, because my great-grandfather was a healer. So whatever there was, he bestowed upon me. Now I know my father's father, he bestowed magic upon me too. And even my stepfather's mother, very magical. She introduced me to voodoo or voodoo. So in my life, I've been exposed to the right things. And been pointed in a lot of the right directions. And even the Time Walker papers, led me to the Omen, the study of the Omen, the study of the Mayan. That's what started all that. That's what opened all that up for me. So when I do go beyond myself, I have a big platform to land on. So when I land, it's like all these different things. And like I mentioned before, if you don't, you should already know where the next place you're going to go, because you should be visiting it. And that's what the idea of opening your third eye is for you to start visiting where you're going next. As I mentioned, the Skull Library opens up a lot. When it talks about stuff is written in stone and you have to scrape it off those stones, that's real. And the keeper of the stone library you can put in your bag. It can be there where you're from or where you're going. Once you acquire that knowledge, it's going to be there. So when you go where you're going to go, you open that first eye up, boom, there's the Skull Library. There's the keeper if I need him. He's where I'm going if I need him. Crystals and all that energy is there too. And another way just to see too, and this is definitely something that quantum of science hit me too, and I'll share it, is like you getting the deja vus. That shows that you are doing something really right when it appears like you've done it before. It's like a bonus. I agree. It's like a bonus. And it starts happening not just every now and then. It's like all the moments start seeming like, man. And it's like you'll sit in a moment and be like, wow, I had this moment before. And when you get that all the time, it kind of shows you where you're at. Where, wow, I've had this moment before. And those are little bonuses. Because you never know how long ago you had that moment where you first lived it or dreamed it. Because a lot of times you dream these events and then boom, there it is. But you remember that you dreamed it. And so those are definitely kind of bonuses that we all can achieve and look for. Now, a lot of people say, you don't want to open your third eye. Things could attack you. Well, yeah, that's why it's smart to have protective things around you. Just as much as you want to become spiritual, there are things that don't want you to become spiritual. So they want to scare that spirituality out of you by having these mild attacks, or, if you, you use your third eye and it's attacking you. That's again. But once you start putting these protections around you and something simple as burning sage or plot or what is it called? Palo Santo. When you start burning this stuff around you, that false stuff goes away. Because it's false threats, it's false things to scare you. All this is false. So you find ways to, they don't even bother because they know you ain't gonna be scared by it. Or is it going to, detour you from going further and further and further and further? Like I had a dream, and I definitely haven't shared this. So I had a dream, and I'm lucid, and this dog tried to get me. And so the dog, like, I don't know if I cloaked or what I did, but the dog ran past me, so it missed me. But then while I'm there, there's this giant, clear, like more of a clear giant circle that's just probing through. It missed me too. But to see something like that, and maybe that was a kind of way to get into something else. What do they call that? Stargates. Looked like it was a moving Stargate, but it was just moving and it moved by me. It wasn't probing. It just, and I just, after it went through, I was like, wow, I probably should have jumped into that. Oh, very deep. Always. Neil Finn, what's happening? Time to go, especially when I move to different areas. Huh. Well, yeah. When you travel, definitely. Now, one thing I noticed about the ocean, and I'm not afraid to admit this, it's like it wasn't. Yeah, because again, the resort had 400 people. The beach wasn't crazy, but I really wasn't able to project my third eye while I was near the ocean. So I will admit that. I really wasn't able to project it while I was on the ocean. But I was able to get some peaceful, just feeling it. I was able to do all that. So, and maybe because I wasn't home, and maybe again spiritually there was something saying, yeah, don't really open it up down here. But I was able to absorb it. Moved to Minneapolis. You said moved to Mississippi. Your mom's sick. Oh, Vanetta, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, so now you're doing okay. You moved down there. Oh, I love Mississippi though. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your mom, and fast healing for sure. Fast healing for sure. I think I mentioned this several times. I have a relative down that has property down there, and I've asked her about it. My people are from more Macon, which is near is Nakumbi. No, what is it? There's Macon, Natchez, Tupelo is a little north, so it's more northern Mississippi. So, one of my friends, it's interesting. His mom is kind of going a little ill, and his sister moved away from the mom. She's near, but moved away. Left kind of the mom in the house, and the sister bought another house. Or left mom in the apartment, the sister bought another house. So it's kind of interesting, But fast healing for sure. Fast healing. James Gant, what's happening? Fast healing for sure. We hope to wish the best, and I hope your effort going down there, you're able to help her the most you can. No, it had to be hot though. No, it was hot. When I was in South Carolina, it was hot, 90 degrees up here. It ain't the same as 90 degrees down there. And we have water everywhere up here, so it tends to be, hot and humid. But yeah, it's a different kind of humid. We had to walk to this, when we went to I guess I can get into that a little bit. We went we got a deal, and so when you get the deals, you got to go listen to these timeshares, and the timeshare was only 2 hours. And it's just funny the psychology of the sale. Like when you buy a car, a person ain't asking you all about your real history. This dude, the way they had it, and it's Holiday Inn. It's Rain something at Holiday Inn. So anyway, we meet this dude, and the dude's first words, I was like, man, is that vodka or is that mouthwash? And it turned out to be, it was alcohol, some kind of alcohol. So this is 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. This dude is already drinking. He's drinking enough where he's spewing alcohol on us. But it's just funny how they play that. Tell me about you. Tell me about you. Tell me about you. Where do you enjoy? And then all of a sudden trying to show you these numbers. And just to break to the chase, the deal was $40,000 for 12 night stays. All right, so you own and you get 12 nights, pretty much any resort you want. 8,000 down. This is what was really odd is they said that since we were there, we got automatic financing. Where do you go to get automatic financing? And the maintenance charge, because I bought a timeshare. Brennan was so 97. My partner and I bought one. And it was like the maintenance fee then was like a bitch. And now the maintenance fee is $2,000. So you pay the $40,000, the maintenance fee is $2,000 for the rest of your life. Now break that down per month. But for the rest of your life, you got to pay this maintenance fee on something you only getting to use 12 times. So it's no way that the 12 times you get to use it is worth the maintenance fee. The maintenance fee should be just for the 12 times you use it, not continuously, and they always go up. So, but just the sale. So it's like finally we told the dude, like it was going on because 3 hours, and I was like, no, I'm done. I've told the dude, tie this up. Then he brings his manager, and his manager dropped it from 40 to 30 something. Then he finally dropped it 20. Now again, your benefits is less and less. So we told him, hell. So I told this dude, I'm ready to go. My only thing to you was 2 hours. It's beyond 2 hours. I'm free from you. He's still talking and show. I was like, hell no. So then we end up. So it was a great deal because all the money we put in for the hotel they gave back to us. So they gave us $380. But it was like the way they had to. So you had to go to from where they held the cash was a separate building. Happened to be raining, but the rain was only coming in one direction. The dude gave us an umbrella to go there. So we go there, and again, the last dude is like, hey, $150, you get a couple more nights. It's like, no more selling. We don't want none of your shit. So they give us the $380. The dude takes the umbrellas. Luckily, it quit raining. But that's how petty they was. So, well, y'all, I need to take my meds. So those of you, I hate to lose you, but if I lose you to showing this meditation, well, I think it's worth putting it out there. I always say I give freely. And I think this meditation is good for tonight. So for those of you who want to sit through this about 20 minutes, thank you for coming. Those of you that opt out, that's okay too. But here we go with One Divineness. Notes here, I'm not sure, but so for those of you that like to follow along, here we go.
Don't worry about the counting. If you can't make it to the full counts, it's okay. Do you? Okay, let's start with the first breath. Breathing in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now exhale from the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Push it all out. Let it all go out. Next breath. Breathing in through the nose. Love and light down to the belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale from the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, pushing it all out. Good. And last breath. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale from the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Releasing it all. Letting it all go. Now we're going to just do a scan of the body. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top of the head and we're going to move all the way down to our feet. I just want you to go through the body and release any tension, any stress, any tightness you may be feeling, any stuck energies. You're going to imagine it going down a drain Or you can just give it to Mother Earth. Mother Earth will recycle that energy. So don't feel bad that you're giving it to her, just release it to her. Or like I said, just imagine it going down a drain, like you're standing in the shower and you're just washing it off. So let's start at the top of the head, releasing anything that is tight, just letting it go. Let's move to our forehead, any tightness in the brows, your eyes, letting go of any stress, moving down to your ears, your cheeks, your nose, your mouth, your jaw, chin, releasing any tightness in the shoulders, going down your arms, into your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, your fingertips, letting go of any stress, any tension, any tightness in your upper back, your chest, lower back, your stomach, releasing any tension in your hips, lower legs, moving into the thighs, the knees, lower legs, your ankles, your feet, your toes, just letting it wash away, just releasing it, giving it to Mother Earth. Now I'd like you to take an inventory if anything still feels tight, going back and giving that area some love and allowing it to release. Let's start now by bringing your awareness within. I want you to start focusing on bringing that awareness from your mind down to your heart space. Start pulling that awareness into your heart space. As you keep a light focus between your brows, not looking for anything, not stressing about it, just a light focus as you pull that awareness into your heart space. And gently pulling it down. As you do so, I want you to listen to the sounds in the room that you're sitting in. Maybe the fan is blowing or the heat is blowing. Just allowing those sounds and not attaching to them. You may hear family members or pets in the background. Just allowing as you keep pulling that awareness into your heart space. You might hear some cars driving by. Just allowing those sounds to occur as you keep pulling that awareness into your heart space. You're just being. Nothing needs to be done in this moment. Thoughts may be rising in your mind of what needs to be done after this meditation or what needs to be done tomorrow. We're not going to attach to those thoughts. We're just going to let that energy pass as you're just being. As you keep pulling that awareness into your heart space. Not worried about the bills, the chores that need to be done. Not worried about the work day for tomorrow or for the rest of the week. Just going to let those thoughts pass as you keep pulling that awareness into your heart space. Letting go of any irritations you may have had today with things not going your way, and just allowing it to pass. As you sit in meditation, you may feel some numbness or tingling. That too shall pass, not attaching to it, or just being. Keep pulling that awareness into your heart space. If thoughts continue to rise, just gently pull yourself back into the heart space. Gently bring your awareness in. Now, being in the heart space, I want you to imagine a green lotus flower opening up. If you don't know what a lotus flower is, it's okay. Just imagine a flower opening up. This is where our love resides, in the heart space. I want you to move your awareness within the heart space, within that lotus flower. And I want you to feel that energy as it expands and moves in all directions. I want you to embrace yourself in that love, that unconditional love. And send out that same love to all beings. Now let's move our awareness down to our solar plexus. Your solar plexus is located about 6 inches above your belly button. As you move your awareness down there, I want you to imagine a yellow lotus flower opening up and bringing your awareness into the center of that lotus flower. This is where our will resides, our inner strength, our goals. Just move yourself into that energy and feel that energy. Remember, we're not doing anything. We're just being. Allow yourself to be guided. Now bring your awareness down to your sacral. The sacral is located between the hips, below the belly button, where our sexual organs are. I want you to imagine an orange lotus flower opening up. This is where our passion and creativity sits. Bring your awareness into the center of the lotus flower. Allowing that lotus flower to expand in all directions. This is where our self-care and self-love, doing the things that bring us joy, allowing yourself to feel that energy. Now bring your awareness down to your root chakra. This is at the base of your spine. Imagine a red lotus flower opening up. This is where our survival sits. Bring your awareness into the center of the lotus flower. As the lotus flower expands in all directions, feel the connection to Mother Earth. Feel the connection to knowing that all of your needs are being met and will continue to be met. Now, as we go in and ground ourselves to Mother Earth, I want you to feel yourself rooting into Mother Earth as I guide you down into the center. Just rooting yourself, letting yourself go, anchoring yourself into her energy. Bringing your energy down into both of your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Bringing that energy down into the ground, into the rocks and dirt, going down the multiple layers of the earth, going down to Gaia, to Mother Earth, connecting with her consciousness, becoming one with her unconditional love. Feel yourself becoming one with her. We thank you, Gaia, for the blessings and graces that you give us. We thank you for all that you do for us on a daily basis. We thank the animals, the plants, the birds, the air, the wind, the water, and the fire for their part in our human experience and soul's evolution. Being filled with gratitude and love, now bringing that energy forth, bringing Mother Earth's energy as she gives it to us freely, bringing it up through the multiple layers of the earth, bringing that energy back up past the rocks and dirt, back up into the ground, into your feet, your ankles, lower legs, knees, thighs, root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart. Now move your energies up to the throat chakra. I'd like you to imagine a blue lotus flower opening up. This is where our truth resides, our communications with others. Feel that lotus flower opening up and expanding in all directions as you bring your awareness within. Feeling the energies. As we speak our truth, and we speak the truth with loving ways and loving words. Now bring your awareness up to your third eye. This is between the brows. You're going to imagine a purple lotus flower opening up. As you do so, bringing your awareness into the center as it expands in all directions. This is where our intuition or our connection to a higher self resides. Feeling those energies of being guided, of the knowings, of the nudges, of the visions, of the hearing, whispers in our ears of what we should be doing to continue to be on that path. What is for our highest and greatest good, and for those who are around us and surround us. Allowing that energy to expand. Now bring your awareness up to the crown chakra. The crown chakra is right above your head, outside of your body. Imagine a white lotus flower opening up. This is where our connection to wisdom and to the divine creator resides. Feel yourself moving into that energy as the lotus flower expands in all directions. Allowing ourselves to be guided, knowing the truth that we are all one. Now bring your awareness up to the sun. Allow yourself to feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the life force energy. Feeling the energy of the sun on your body into each and every single cell. Bathing in that healing energy. Now bring your awareness up to the full moon, where the feminine energies resides. This is called the pink moon. This is a very powerful moon. Even though the full moon energies were the highest yesterday, we still have the energies for 3 more days. During the full moon, we do a release of letting go of things no longer that serve us, so that we can make room for the things that we desire in our life, which we plant during the new moon. This moon is also requiring us to be grateful for all that we have. For all the things in our life that we are grateful for, so that more can come forward. I'd like everybody to take a few minutes at this point and go ahead and say the things that you are grateful for in your mind towards the moon, and then also recognizing the things that you'd like to release and asking the energies of the moon to help assist with that. So let's take a few minutes and do a release and do some gratitude.
Galactic Mountain so much, he's a regular. All right. Thank you, One Divineness. All right. Yeah, it was about 20 minutes, so I didn't lie. Yes, a lot has changed since then. You know, I was once very fond of her, but things don't work out. And as I said many times before, I hope she doesn't mind that I used that. You know, I hope she doesn't mind. And I hope that, you know, the way life is supposed to be for her happened. You know? And I'm joyful that our paths met when they did. You know, I have this beautiful work that I spread on full moons, and I think it's beneficial. I think it's useful. And she hasn't contacted me to say, stop it. I'm easy to find. And I'm sure that a lot of her, she has agents, which is very funny. But anyway, a lot of her agents is probably say, hey, you know, he's still showing your thing. So I'm sure that if they didn't want this spread, they would let me know. They would come to me and say, hey, you know, please quit showing it. And I would quit showing it. I'm that kind of guy. I would right then and there, I'd quit showing it. Like, I would respect that. So know that about me. If you ever don't want me to show it, then I won't. I'm that kind of guy. I'll keep my word in that. Gosh, it's funny, you know, like I bring up all these things that has happened and you can see happen every day. You know, I was doing up a thing on who died. You know, you see they made all these sacrifices for it's like when I think it was 16 when Muhammad Ali dies right before the Olympics, and then remember shaking Muhammad Ali in Atlanta. And then this year they got, you know, Lucifer's torch, and I'll take that back. It'd be more Satan's torch than Lucifer. Lucifer was a different cat, but Satan's torch. You know, they had Snoop Dogg, who was murder was the case that they gave me. You know, he's the one that he murdered somebody. Well, he was involved in a murder and they let him go. So he's been and he promoted that, you know, again we went from self-destruction, we're headed to self-destruction to I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homies do too. And, women being bitching hoes, and everybody just wants to be a dope dealer again. It's like a song with a Pusha T in it still has, he lives the reference. If you need a couple of keys, you can still call him. He's still doing cocaine music. Isn't that like 20, 25 years ago, 20 years ago? This guy is still doing cocaine music. uh, so I just like, really? Really? You still making cocaine music? You give a reference. If you want to buy, you need some keys, call me. Why would you call a Hollywood entertainer and be like, hey, Pusha T, I need a couple keys? Who would really do that? But it sells, think there's some out there, Meek Mills, you talk about more of killing a brother. What Nicki Minaj say, I wish a nigga would. It's never any attack on the European. It's always attack on each other. And I'm not saying any violence about anybody, but I'm saying that's who the violence is directed at. That who I smoke mentality that just affected a young man in Florida and it's affected a lot of other ones. They don't go nowhere else to do something to nobody else but our people. They're doing it to ourselves. And that's the sadness about young people, and young people not loving the moment, young people not loving the life, and young people really not having no hope. I mean, it's a sad society when, what does he say? We glorify the shooter. Isn't that what Kendrick said? We glorify the shooter. That's like you study King Von, that's all it is. But what made them hate people so much that, it's gun tag. That's gun tag. Talked about that for years. Young people want to have gun tag with each other. So it's like, the moments mean nothing to them. There's no conscious thought in them. It's like almost they're programmed to be a video game. You own nothing. You don't own the area, yet you want to brutalize the people you live around. People you have access to, and all you're doing is going around brutalizing them. How does that make any sense? Who would teach such a thing? Only of enemy. I mean, the people in California finally saw, who was pushing all that violence, and they tried to come together. Because before it was just about protecting your neighborhood. Look at some of the Slawsons and those type of gangs in L.A. They was fighting Europeans, to stop their people from getting jumped on, messed with. So Bunchy Carter was a Slawson, I believe. That's the name of the street that Nipsey's in, that Slawson. And this was to keep, the neighborhood people protected. You can dig that. So that's what a lot of them were supposed to be. Like people don't understand that the Panthers were writing grants. They're writing grants. Look up Fred Hampton. I've mentioned this many times. They're writing grants. So that means they was getting government money. So were they really for us when they getting government money? Vice Lord, same way. Ron Ford, right? And Gary. He ended up getting him for misuse of federal funds, which was a trumped up charge. But they was writing grants. So at one point the government backed them. I mean, up to Fred die, you see one of his last things where, he's still a part of the grant writing for the Chicago Panthers. He has money that he can give out to local community. Now, what's funny is the social programs to buy food and stuff, he couldn't give the money out for that stuff. They had to be volunteered. But the one guys want to start a credit union. Those kind of little programs, that's who this grant money, that's when they went to get the grant. That's what they're supposed to do, these social programs. So the government was kind of sponsoring them, if you understand. And that's like the whole thing, the wars and everything. You know, we're what, 2, 3 proxy wars going on right now? And you know why people aren't really against it? Because they talking about drafting our people and sending our people over there. And let me get into this. Just change the subject a little bit, but like look at how they've tried to kill certain generations. The people, is it the GI generation? The people, yeah, the people. It was in World War II. They tried to kill them on purpose. They tried to depopulate under the guise of a war. And they let those people come home and prosper until the 70s. But look at what they did to my generation, the baby boomers. They put genocide on us by sending us to Vietnam. Well, I'm a little young for Vietnam, but people within my generation was sent to Vietnam. And 40, 50,000 people killed. It's population control. Vietnam had no importance at all. No strategic importance. You dig? And so we see two separate generations, attacked. And what's interesting is we saw another generation in 2020 of being attacked. Who do you think they went after? What generation got hurt the most during what happened in 2020? It was the baby boomers. The baby boomers were the old people that was attacked during 2020, 21. That's who it affected it. And that was almost around the world. It was left never a mass killing of people, old people. So we see how they attacked those, my generation and the generations, before me. Because my mother's generation, got affected by Vietnam too. Because people her age also went to Vietnam. My mother was born before baby boomers. But it was a lot of people that was involved in Vietnam was born outside of the baby booming time. I think it didn't start till 47, 48. Lasted till 64. I was born 61. And so, we see the government under the guise of war killing, big numbers, mass numbers of people. You study World War I, World War II, study, what are all these people really killed for? I mean, the civilian population that was killed in World War II is just astounding. Look at the numbers. It's unbelievable how many civilians got killed. How does that happen? How do so many civilians get killed? I mean, that's one thing with the Civil War. There weren't a lot of, at least our Civil War, there wasn't a lot of just civilians killed. It was the armies that were supposed to kill each other. That's who's supposed to go at each other, is the armies, not civilians. And there were some, some massacres. We know some black troops got massacred. Even, what's sad is, and I don't know if this is an emancipation movie, but I think it is, but they don't really do it like it is. It's like they would send black troops to suicide mission. Where my ancestor got killed at the rushing of Fort Wagner, South Carolina, was definitely a suicide mission that they killed melanated troops on purpose. They knew that they couldn't take that place, but yet they kept hitting them with these thousands of black troops. So killing them on purpose. Killing their own men that are giving their lives for you. You done trained them, brainwashed them. They're doing you got all their equipment, but you know where you're sending them, they're doomed. And we see this in every war. Whether they know they're sending men to doomed. I mean, look at Gettysburg. Watch the video of Gettysburg, where Stewart is the one that's like, I know this is a mistake. I know that, this shouldn't be done. But yet I'm sitting here and I'm kind of, the way he looks at it is he's helpless to stop it. And over again in Vietnam. People forget why people got out of Vietnam. They forget the soldiers quit fighting. People forget that. The soldiers was like, fuck you. They'd tell them to go out a night ambush. They would go just far enough from base where they know they could keep themselves safe. Then they, some point while they out there, they throwing some bombs and shit, telling them to send bombs. Because that's what they would do. What they would do is have the people out there, and they want the people to make contact and then bomb where the contact's coming from. And that worked sometimes in World War II. Not so much in the jungles of Vietnam. It worked at times. But a lot of times the bombs couldn't come quick enough to keep them motherfuckers off your ass. So we have, the wars going on now. Notice a lot of the same thing. Look at all the civilians. Look at Gaza. Who do you think they really wanted to attack? We've had individuals that helped plan the thing so they could start genociding these people. So they could push them out under the guise of a war. And so we know what side is, well, both sides, really going to keep it going. They ain't going to give them, So that's what life is. And that's how it repeats itself. You know what I'm going to do? And I'm going to give this, I gave this announcement out before, but I got hit with it again. As a matter of fact, I might play the videos. If anybody out there has family that they don't have any felonies, they might take people to felonies, but I have another connection to Merchant Marines. And I actually think I could run a video. I've been sent a video on how to do it step by step. And so I think the pay for a dishwasher, like the low pay, is 80,000. So if you can make more than that, then do. But if you're not and you are interested, send me an email or comment on this that you want me to show it, and I'll show the video how to do it step by step. Yeah, I'll get that out there. Now, I don't think any of my children would do it because that's why they sent it to me. It's like, man, just have them try it. And so maybe possibly too, I don't know. Maybe possibly one of my sons might like it. But if any of you do, comment below this video when I get done. Put it in the comments, and I'll play the video. I think I can switch it to here and have it played. And how to do it, or I'll find where it is and show you how to do it step by step. So if anybody's interested, no young people that want to do something like that, and no promises, but my friend's daughter in the first 6 months, she made 50 grand in 6 months. Again, overtime and stuff, but she made 50 grand in 6 months. So, I'll put that out there. I'd go, but I don't like being on boats. My wife's still trying to get me to go on a cruise with her to Costa Rica, Haiti, and it's like, I don't want to see that shit. Not really. Boats to me are like nasty floating hotels. I don't really mind hotels, but it's like, why do I want to take the hotel to sea? That's how I look at it. And it's like the hotel is more space where people ain't all on top of each other. It's like when you're in a plane, technically, even though they got ventilation, you're all breathing kind of air. And that's why, sickness can be on a plane. But just think of, just like a plane, you're in a confined space with all these people. You're mostly confined. And that's why disease is so easily to go through those type of environments. I mean, that's, like one thing that killed the Confederates in the Civil War was, contaminated food. More people killed, contaminated food. Killed just as many people as combat deaths. Both sides. Having so many people close together. And the food source being near the toilet source and not keeping them properly away from each other. What is it called? Dysentery. You shit yourself to death. you shit so much that you die from it because your bowels can't keep opening and closing, and you're trying to open and close. It'll actually kill you. And this tainted water. And I'm not saying you can get that on the ship, but what I'm saying is, it's that confined space on a ship that gets people sick. And it seems to be like they can't get rid of that. So that's it. I'm not really crazy. I don't mind private boats. Like, we'll probably go a little bit on the Mississippi in the next couple of weeks. Ride up and down it for about 20 minutes. Come to find out, my brother had a boat, and it cost him $1,000 to fill up. Probably even be more now. So he just lived there and partied there and used the energy, the generators and shit. It was more or less a houseboat for him. So not necessarily a drive out. He had water, or what do you call them, where the ski-doos on the road, the wave runners. He had a couple wave runners that if he wanted to go out in the Mississippi, he said, shit, he took like through some of the locks and stuff. He took it to St. Croix River. He said it took him 4 or 5 hours. Then go down there and fill up and then ride back up, and go to all the different locks that let you through. So I'm at 2 hours, right? Yeah, almost 2.5. Well, a lot of times I don't come on every day because I ain't really got nothing to say anymore. I think I've said it all. But on special nights like this, I'll come back and I'll have a little bit to say. I still want to critique football. So when football season comes back, I'll be critiquing football again. That's one of my passions. And I try to come back and philosophize every now and then. Yeah. And so next week, I'm definitely playing pickleball on vacation, man. I'm like 240, So I definitely need to lose weight, be more active. I could have played pickleball in South Carolina. I didn't have time in Indiana. Didn't have time. But up the street from where I was, people was playing pickleball. But I was looking at the paddles of everybody. I was like, yeah, no good people are out here playing. And yeah, I didn't take my equipment either because I got to have elbow pads, knee braces. So, but it's a great way to burn off weight. Great way to burn off weight. So I'll be doing that too. So, well, y'all, this was the full moon edition of the Chocolate Mountain Show. As I give freely, feel free to comment about anything. I don't ever have to ask for likes or donations because none of that really matters to me. I got it already. I don't really need it. So that's why I don't ask for it. I don't care if people like it or not. I don't really need that. I don't need that I don't care about these numbers in this thing. I don't try to make money in this thing. I am money. I am abundance. I create my own abundance. So I come on here to give freely, to give my opinion and show some of my activity and my interpretation of things. I can do that for free. I didn't ask anybody for any of this equipment, nor do I think I need more equipment than this. I think this is more than enough for what I'm trying to get out of it. So that's it. Thank you. What somebody say? James Gann, I wish you were doing it live every day. It's hard to do it. No, it's not really hard. It's just to come up with so many different things. And there's nothing wrong with giving opinion of the world events every day. I think I would get morbid on who died, but again, people don't just die, especially entertainers. They don't die like other people die. Entertainers tend to die because of the event cycles that goes on in America. That is the way they pay their price. That is the way they pay. It's like I was commenting on Facebook. I saw another timeline, and I don't even know if that's true, but I saw Magic's son. And again, I didn't look for this timeline. This just came to me in a big ass vision. And his son, EJ, was like better than Magic, better than Jordan. I mean, he was a real basketball threat. He played the the part really well and was good at doing it. But Magic, sold out for it. First, he publicized AIDS. That's all he did. There's no indication that he had it. His son was born around the same time he's supposed to had it. And yet he didn't give it to his wife. Son didn't have it, huh? So it appeared like he was just playing a part. If you look at it. So, but now, for his success, his business success, it appears like that's what he had to do. Give that boy up. We can't have another one of you, Magic. I mean, y'all know about Michael Jordan's daddy. So you can't say Michael went unscathed. But it's obvious what his daddy was. I mean, think about it. I think his dad was still alive when they signed the shoe contract, but they make it in the movie seem like it was the mama's idea only. And the daddy had very little to do with the idea. Right? So you see why they got rid of the daddy for Mike's success. And I think that's why Mike, held his children back, because it looked like his youngest, Jeffrey, could have played the NBA easily. Same size as Bronny James. Same size guy as Bronny James. So I think if Mike wanted that for him, he could have gave that to him. But I think Mike was like, yeah, I'm not, I don't want the price that needs to be paid for them to go a step further. And that's why I'm pretty sure, my LeBron James' mom is going to be, because she's still relatively young. I think she's younger than me. I think she's in her late 40s or 50s. So I still think that's the one that they're going to, the blood that he's going to have to spill is going to be hers. Now, I don't want anything to happen to that person. But I'm just saying, looking from the outside, looking in and how they do these rituals, that's what it seems like is going to happen to her. But if it doesn't, then, I'm wrong, Hate it to be one of the other children, I thought Bronny, that's what was scary about Bronny. I was like, wow, is this the one they're going to sacrifice? Because that's what it appeared like. Like that was the one they're going to sacrifice. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. And that's like, even when you tie into religion with things, especially Catholic religion, like what do these people really believe in? They've also, it's like religion is the way to see how, you can look at how you're manipulated. And that's all, no matter what you believe in, you've got to know that at some point you were manipulated to a blind belief. Into a blind belief where you have to believe in something. So it doesn't matter which one, they all ask the same thing. To believe in something that's not really physically doing anything for you. And that's the big difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is doing something for you. You're interacting with something that is doing something for you. Be it just calm from meditating, be it if you can blow open your third eye. So you're interacting with these energies. Dealing with these crystals, I'm interacting with them. I'm not believing in them, I'm interacting with them. They can give me energy back. Or they can modify, amplify what I'm trying to do. And that's their point. Same way, these statues and stuff and the artwork. They're supposed to help what you do. Every piece, everything you put in your house is supposed to help you. Everything. Yeah, she died. Olympic boxer died. Okay. I'm not surprised. But yeah, I saw Clint Eastwood. And let me tell you, I forgot to mention this. We went to the Wax Museum down there at Myrtle Beach. $80 for the two of us. It took us 20 minutes. But we got to see maybe 100 or less. Um, what's his name? It's funny, like Lady Gaga is like almost a midget because they have them tall as they supposed to be. Kevin Hart, wow, that's a little person. Prince was a little person. Nicki Minaj, you can see where they gave her the big boobs and the fake butt, and that kind of shows in her figure. Rihanna figure looked really real. Samuel Jackson was probably the best one. The best ones I enjoyed the most was seeing Predator and Alien. Those were the best to me. But they had Michael Jackson, Oprah, who was let me see. Melissa McCarthy. She's really short too. What's her name? The comedian that was the first woman to kiss. She could kiss Brooke Shield, that chick. They had her really looking wrinkled and old. She was older than me. Frank Sinatra. Just trying to remember everybody. John Wayne, Matthew McCarty, Al Pacino, Nicholson, Brad Pitt. What's his name? Played in Deadpool. McCarthy. Women. Elizabeth Taylor. Taylor Swift. No Madonna. Who had Lil Wayne in there? Neck tattoos and all. Lil Wayne. Bruno Mars, a little bitty dude too. I don't know. So it's about 50 maybe different people. And I understand in the price. I understand it's the art. It's like going into an art museum and seeing paintings. So instead of seeing paintings, you seeing, popular culture figures in art. So that was kind of interesting. Now Thursday we had to check out at 11:30, but our flight wasn't until 5. So again, we're not boarding until around 3. Or we're not going to check in until around 3. So we had a little time to enjoy. So we went to a new place to eat breakfast, which was cool. And then we went to the White Outlet there. And this is funny. North Myrtle Beach had money. All right. Usually the north side of something ain't got money, but North Myrtle Beach has got money. But anyway, we went into a car museum. We, had pamphlets, and the car museum was kind of cool. Had a lot of old cars that I could relate to and remember seeing. It had a Javelin and a Montero. And Javelin is a car you don't hear about, American Motors, which Jeep was part of American Motors. People, don't remember that Jeep, American Motors had their own separate brand. They was their own company. They were separate. They weren't part of, like Chrysler then. They were on their own. Government helped them, the Wiley Jeep. The government kept that going, kept making Jeeps. So that's where the push for the 4-wheel drive. But it was interesting seeing all these cars. It was 100 cars. So it was interesting. That's where living in the 60s was the best because you could have them damn fast cars. You could have them fast-ass cars, and it's like, that was normal. I mean, the 2 doors had enough room in the back where, it could go fast and you didn't need 4 doors. So that shaved off some weight. So it was kind of cool. Of course, the Super Bees, the Road Runners, the Challengers, the Chargers, it had a bunch of them in there. Only a few Mustangs. Had a Thunderbird like my dad had, a 64 Thunderbird. And in the 64 Thunderbird, when you open the back seat, the steering wheel shifted to the side. Because it's just 2-door, but it was a big back seat. And where Thunderbird stopped trying to really be like Corvette, Thunderbird went more luxury. Because Vets ain't never been really luxury. It's a luxury engine, but the interiors have always sucked. I mean, really, up until 20, the interiors, up until the new body style, the interiors always look cheap of any Vet. Cheap materials, just look cheap. Like, go back and look at a night. My stepdad had a 1980 Vet, I think. No, probably 85, 86. Everything inside looked cheap. And that's with my point where Thunderbird started in the mid 60s. And one of my favorite cars of all time is 67 through 70, the 4-door Thunderbird with the suicide doors. It was more about having luxury than about a fast car. And some of those cars you could, get really big engines in. So, but that was the golden age of cars, where cars look different every year. Oh, one thing I'll say, I guess it's kind of political, is I guess, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but they said that there are so many electric vehicles in California, and maybe I said this last time I came on, I don't know, but if I did, I'll repeat it. It's worth repeating. That there are so many electric vehicles in California that the gas tax sucks. So the gas tax, they're not making enough money off, because that's where they shot themselves in the foot. They're not making enough money off the gas tax. So now they want to charge the people the electric cars per mile. Isn't that some shit? Are they just making up some shit because you lose one revenue, you're trying to make up some shit to have this other revenue? You're talking about you're saving the earth, but you lost all this tax money because in LA, so many people quit driving gas cars. So, time is it? Okay, I'm gonna have to go to bed in a minute. But as long as I'm feeling it, I'll give it out. So they can't make up their minds. They was like, oh, none of them thought about that. We're going to lose all this bread through this gas tax. So we need to find another way to get more money out of people. And it's funny how people can have good information, but like some of their facts sometimes is stupid. I listened to one dude that said that it was the baby boomers that signed the Federal Reserve. So it's like, how can I look at the rest of your work if you're trying to say people born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s had something to do with people that passed laws around the turn of the century? So it makes me wonder, when you present that kind of thing, like, it wouldn't seem like your research would have led you to that. So I find that odd. So I look at the rest of your shit as like, you're some kind of plant. You just said something divisive. You want people to be mad at this group of people by putting out false information. So that goes on too. You damn near know that ain't no baby boomer signed shit with the Federal Reserve. We weren't around to do so. But these Olympics, keep in mind, Olympic sports are fixed too. Now, there's probably some natural events. For the most part, they're fixed. What was his name? He played pro football too. Nehemiah, the high jumper. Wasn't it funny every time around the Olympics he'd make some mistake so he wouldn't win? I mean, you see that over and over again in the Olympics. People make a mistake so they don't get. So the Olympics are fixed too. Don't think they aren't. They are just as fixed as, because it's all entertainment. They are just as fixed as other sports. So, keep that in mind. And you can bet on the Olympics too. So when you want to bet on the basketball team, water polo, which is, I still don't understand. I reffed a couple water polo games because in Chicago they play water polo. But it was like, it was, be on top of the pool and stuff was really great. Not having to be swimming and doing reffing was great. But it was like some of the dumbest shit ever, I thought. But to each his own. I guess some people, they look at water polo as Atlantis kind of sport. The sacred ball game, Atlantis style. Everybody stays in the water and passes it around. Old Atlantis game. That's what they used to do in Atlantis. Trying to tie the sacred ball game to Atlantis. Because that's the only reason I think that could come about. Why would that be interesting? When I think about that, that's what it makes me think. That was Atlantis sport. That's why they won it. So. And then I saw 7-on-7 rugby. 7-on-7 rugby, and they only played two quarters or two periods of 5 minutes. I was like, damn, that's the easiest way in the world to get a gold medal. Because when I started watching the first game, it was like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. Maybe each half was 6 minutes, or each game, or each quarter. I don't know what it was. But they played that quick and it was over. And remember, the Olympics didn't just start with the opening ceremony. They've been competing all week. I think actually opening day was Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, they actually started competing. Like if you watching any of the rowing, they tell you they was competing before Friday. And then I'm saying the 7-on-7, they've been competing before Friday. Before last night, they was already competing. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why I said like coming daily. It's like, what more can I say? Like on this channel, I've given 4 years of work. And at some point, I'm repeating a lot of the work just because, the things that I think were meaningful come up time and time again. And then even the examples. And so it's like, what more can I say? Because I just don't want to be someone that commentates on popular culture or even, local and world events. I like to, put more local events out there because it's amazing. And they hit us with these psychological things, like the young lady that got shot with the pot of water or didn't have the pot of water. I mean, again, why? This doesn't even seem like why? It's another event that seems very unreal. None of it seems real. It's like it makes no sense. So why do you think these kind of things keep happening? Why do you think they still want you mad at a group of people that, well, I mean, they're there to protect property, but are people. And it just doesn't, nothing they did was rational. So when you see things that just aren't rational thought or rational event, it's probably some fake to it. Again, it's trying to, hit a certain chord in people. More mistrust of the police, more mistrust of the government, more fear that that could have been us. You can't even call them for help anymore. If you call them for help, they're going to attack you. So you can't even call them for help. If you let them around you, something could happen to you just for letting them be around you. That's kind of the message that it puts out. That's what that whole message is you can't call them because they might attack you. So they're not here for you. And that's the message you should get. Their charter says they're there to protect property. Like when I was a cop at a college, Western Michigan University, I was there to protect Western Michigan University's property and streets. Make sure no drunk drivers were driving on the streets and protect property. And by arresting drunk drivers is the safety of the campus, But that was part of my job. You dig? So it wasn't necessarily to help anybody. And that's the common answer is like, why do you want to be a cop? I want to help people. That's what most young police officers say. Why do you want this profession? I was in there talking shit. I like carrying guns. I like telling people what to do. I like fucking with people. It's like, well, we can agree with that. Shit, I used to carry 3 guns and this is before they switched to the ARs. But shit, I used to carry 3 guns. That SIG 226, I think it was then the Glock. What was the 40 caliber Glock? Wasn't the 23? Maybe it was the I used to carry I would keep like my shirt unbuttoned right here, probably at the pocket, and had that 40 caliber right here, and then I carried a little 2-shot in my pocket. So I was definitely never scared. I tell the story all the time. I worked with a cat when I worked at another department. He was scared to stop people. He'd pull his gun out, stopping it on a traffic ticket. On a traffic stop, excuse me. He'd pull his gun out. And, he's scared. Luckily, he never killed anybody. I had to tell him, I was like, I'll never back you up if you pull another damn gun on some people. But he was scared. But, you know, I had to make him realize that you risking people's life and even your own life. So I made a deal with him. I'm like, okay, I'll back you up. You just wait. You call it in. You tell me where you at. I'll come to you. Then we'll go out together. Cool. He's like, okay. So that way he didn't get hurt. He didn't hurt nobody. And so, you know, America's always about division. I mean, what we're facing these next, you know, till November is all division. Emotionalism, division. Taking our minds away from, you know, what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Syria, and all this money that the military spends that we give the government. And they've made it impossible for you, if you get it, they made it impossible for you not to give it to them. Isn't that sad? They made it impossible for you to get all your money. So they are always going to get paid off of us. It's impossible to get every penny that's paid to you on doing work before they get it. It's like they don't even send the money to you. They send the money to them first. And there's what, 300 million of us? They do that to all, probably 200 million, 270 million. So you wonder, you know, the military is never going to be unfunded. I mean, that's what a real leader would do, is like, bring all these ships back. Just protect America. Quit being aggressive in these other places. Leave them the fuck alone. Pull your bases out of these other places. Pull the base out of Cuba. You know, Russia never tried to get America out of Cuba. Guantanamo Bay has been there forever. Shit, at least almost probably close to 70 years it's been there. They may have gave up some of Cuba, but they didn't give up Guantanamo Bay, did they? That's something they kept for themselves. It was like, nah, you can have that shit over there, but we keeping this. And that may just go back into the Cuban Missile Crisis when they agreed to let them keep it. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to study a little more. And so, you know, a lot of what we're taught is you see totally untrue. Totally untrue. So here we are today in this time, and what we have to figure out is like what is helpful that we're seeing in these times. What is helpful for me to put my attention in and my efforts? What is helpful? And that does come back to self. Put the time in for yourself, to your family. I mean, you know, I'll say, you know, these last 2 weeks of vacationing, the beautiful thing is to see in family love. I mean, for the most part, the group of us that went to South Bend was all mothers and fathers. So my daughter definitely was represented by, you know, her mother and her father and her stepmother. But it was interesting how many people were represented by two parents. And then as I went to South Carolina, the biggest thing that I saw, you know, was melanated love. That's a beautiful thing. Is melanated love and the people, the melanated people that love each other and have families and can take their children places. But just witnessing melanated love again, openly. Because that's not what's pushed. You know, now it's so much decisiveness showing the women, you know, are just ignorant people trying to use a man, when that's not really always the case. I mean, when a man loves a child, it's like a grandfather could, you know, his father may not be around and the grandfather raises the child. Now, does the grandfather go to his daughter and says, well, you know, you didn't tell me that ain't my child? No, it's never like that. When a father decides to raise a child, he just raises him. Now, if the mother's lied and did some fucked up stuff, it's understandable you don't want to be with her. That's understandable. And you can make the decision if you want to deal with the child or not, because that's a hard cross to bear. Somebody lied to you about a child and they've been using you. Yes, I understand that. But in reality, there's more relationships and more people that have children that can work together to support the children. Now, I watched one of the best, I watched one of the best baton twirlers. Her father came to the last show. He came to one of her shows, because I've been at all of them. He came to one of them, but he wasn't in Notre Dame. Her mom is the main one driving this thing. But it was interesting where her dad came to at least one. Now, I don't know the story why, but it's like still, your children is doing some big things. You should kind of be there. What you can afford to support. I'll say that. And a lot of my support for my daughter comes from taking her to and from practice. She has one practice. She's only there 45 minutes. So, I have no reason to come and go. I stayed near. Weather's nice enough. I'm walking some laps to try to get in shape around the property. And they know they're seeing me. And them seeing me down in nationals, it helps my daughter. It's like, okay, she's got a lot of support. And that's how it should be. You should support your children. If you economically can, You have them involved in these sports, go to the games. I've said it before, my stepfather saw every game I played from 7th grade until I graduated. Every game. He would take off work for even when I was in 7th grade, I made the 8th grade team. I hardly played. Yet he was there in the stands watching. And he never missed a game. Didn't matter if it was pee-wee football. Didn't matter what it was. When you play little boy football in 5th, 6th grade, that's generally on the weekends. But there's still practices. And so that was done for me. You like we as children take for granted practices that our parents take us back to forth to practice. But that takes effort. But I know he loved it. He loved it. And what's funny is, and for those of you that are parents and have went through it, like when your children play sports all those years, and then they graduate and the sports ain't there no more. Do you know how lonely that becomes almost? It's like you're missing out of something you've been so active with. Because I look at my mother and my father, my brother, my stepfather, my brother. It's like when I was gone, there was no more games. They wasn't picking me up for practice. They wasn't taking me anywhere. I was just gone. And can you imagine the adjustment the three of them had to make? I joke with my mother about a story, and this is the story. The story is we were walking out of the mall, and in Kalamazoo, there were two malls right across the street from each other. There's like a main city highway, couple main city highways that kind of crisscrosses. And so we were about to walk to our car, and all of a sudden they say, there's a bus. They say, hey, we started a new service. Would you let the children use it? And so they's like, well, what is it? It's like you get on the bus and we just take you back and forth. So they had a shuttle that would take you from one mall to the other, basically. And my mother didn't get on the bus with us. I was about 10 years old. My brother was about 4 or 5. And we go on the bus to the one mall to the other. Now, I think what happened is, and the mix-up happened is, my parents went to the other side, and I think the timing of it was they beat us. So I think they was going back and forth. And so I think the timing was when I got off the bus and I looked for them, I see the car leaving. Now my mother said, later I said I thought she was being tested. And what was interesting is it was like nighttime coming. So it wasn't long before it was night. And what my brother and I went through to walk home for roughly maybe 2 miles, maybe not even that much. But we had to walk down the side of this major highway, and no sidewalk. We had to cross the highway. And luckily for me, once I hit the woods where I played for, I was able to walk home. And then I guess apparently I stopped at one of the neighbor friends and told them where I was and that we was going to the tent because we couldn't get in the house. Now, on the other side of that is my mother going crazy. I mean, to them, me and my brother vanished. Like they really didn't understand what happened. They had the police involved. The bus driver's like, I ain't even see no children. And they are like really losing their minds over this. From their perspective, they don't know if somebody kidnapped us. All these things play in their minds. They're in the mall looking at every store. The police are there. They done went from one mall to the other with the police, searching the building, searching both buildings, and we're nowhere to be found. And then having to stop searching. Can you imagine this? Having to stop search and go home. And ain't nothing else you can do but go home. I mean, you have to give up. They're not there. Do you imagine that? A 10-year-old and a 5-year-old living with that anguish. And having to go home without your children that you brought. You took somewhere. And having to go to that house without these children. Do you imagine how devastating that is? And luckily, I think I stopped at some friends and told them where we'd be. She said that's what they talked. They called her and she was like, "Have you guys seen them?" And they was like, "Oh yeah, they're in the tent outside your home." I don't remember it like that. I remember knocking on the door. I don't even think I knocked. I think I just walked in the house because they ain't locked the door. And they were like, "Where you guys been?" So she said, my mom says we were in the tent. I remember, I think maybe we was in the tent. Maybe I get that. But it's just funny the two different ways people see things. I see things as I survived. I do what I knew. I was taught enough. I paid attention enough to at least walk home. And now we joke about it. We say they was trying to get rid of us and stuff, but and I bring that point up is like life is always like that. There's always another perspective. And so you have to be able to, appreciate the other perspective. There's no just one side of things. There's always, always multiple sides of things. So, well, with saying that, we're swimming tomorrow. So we're going to my brother's lodge and we're swimming for sure. It's starting to varnish. Need to wear it a little more. You don't wear silver, it varnishes. Amethyst. It's like, what's his name? The Green Lantern has a ring. I have amethyst. Activate the amethyst. And you see it's a cuff, so the cuff cuffs you. All right, I think this is enough. I can't say when I'm coming on. I don't know if I can get in the habit of coming on again. Probably football season, though, for sure. Probably will be a lot more active coming on in football season. So in closing, I just like to say that this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I have been your humble host, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of what I brought tonight, because that's all I can do, is give you the best of what I think of, in my opinion. I personally, I hope you don't feel attacked. I didn't try to personally attack anyone. The politics things, I ain't really got into it really too much. Just brought out some things to think about. But till we meet again.